What if the most important lesson of your life wasn't taught in a classroom? On May 26, 2025, best-selling author and global speaker Shetty stood on the grand stage of Princeton University to address the graduating class. But his message wasn't about success in the traditional sense. It was about something far more powerful: how to live a meaningful life in a world obsessed with performance. Jay didn't open with a quote or a joke. He opened with raw honesty. He spoke directly to the hearts of those who have ever felt lost even after achieving their goals. His words were not just meant for the students in caps and gowns. They were for anyone who has ever wondered, is this all there is? This is the speech that left thousands reflecting, inspired, and transformed. And now, you're about to hear it too. Shetty began by sharing his own unexpected journey. He wasn't always a monk or a motivational speaker. In fact, he was once like many students sitting in that very audience, focused on achievement, chasing recognition, and believing that success was the ultimate goal. But all of that changed when he met a monk during college. That encounter flipped his entire perspective. He started questioning everything. Why do we chase things that don't last? What truly brings happiness? Eventually, Jay chose a radically different path. He spent years in an ashram, living a life of simplicity, meditation, and service. It wasn't easy. There were doubts, discomfort, and deep self-reflection. But through it all, he learned that fulfillment isn't found in wealth, fame, or applause. It's found in alignment, when what you think, say, and do are in harmony. Jay then introduced 3 questions that he believes everyone should ask themselves. Question 1. What am I doing this for? Not just what am I doing, but why? Are you chasing goals because they matter to you, or because they impress others? Question 2. Who am I becoming through this journey? Success isn't just about the destination, but about the person you turn into along the way. And question 3. Will this matter at the end of my life? A powerful reminder to live with long-term meaning, not short-term validation. He challenged the audience to pause and reflect, to stop living on autopilot. Because life isn't a race to the top, it's a journey inward. Jay redefined what success truly means. Not awards, not job titles, not bank balances. Real success, he said, is about peace of mind. It's about being proud of how you live, not just what you achieve. He shared the story of a classmate who had everything on paper: the perfect job, a luxurious lifestyle, and social media praise. But inside, he felt lost. Because he had built a life that looked good on the outside but felt empty within. Jay urged students to build a life that feels good on the inside. That's real success. Drawing from his years as a monk, Jay shared powerful lessons. One of them: slow down. We live in a world that glorifies hustle, but often, wisdom is found in stillness. He explained how monks wake up early, meditate, and live with intention. Every action has purpose. Every word carries weight. He asked graduates to bring that same intentionality into their everyday lives. Because when we live consciously, we start seeing clearly. And that clarity can change everything. Jay emphasized the importance of relationships. In a hyper-connected digital world, people feel more alone than ever. He talked about how monks prioritize deep, meaningful connections over surface-level interactions. He reminded the audience that no achievement is fulfilling without someone to share it with. He said, "Don't just make a living, make a life. And that life is richer when you have people who love you, support you, and walk with you." He spoke about failure. Jay shared how he had been rejected by dozens of publishers, how his videos didn't gain traction at first, and how he questioned his path multiple times. But through it all, he persisted. Because failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of it. He encouraged graduates to embrace setbacks, to learn from them, and to keep going even when things don't go as planned. That resilience, he said, will be their greatest strength. Jay urged students not to be pressured by timelines and expectations. He reminded them that life is not a race. Everyone moves at their own pace. He said, "Don't let someone else's highlight reel rush your journey. Instead of focusing on what others are doing, focus on your own purpose. Because when you live with purpose, pressure fades, clarity grows, and fulfillment follows." Jay asked everyone to practice gratitude daily. To not just be thankful when things go well, but especially when they don't. He said, gratitude turns what we have into enough, and who we are into more. He explained how gratitude was a core part of monk life, and how it reshaped his entire mindset. Along with gratitude, he spoke about growth. Real growth, he said, happens when we step outside comfort, when we choose courage over convenience. In the final part of his speech, Jay asked the most powerful question of all: what legacy will you leave? He said, your degree is just a foundation. What you build on it is up to you. He encouraged graduates to live a life that inspires, serves, and uplifts others. Because impact doesn't come from how much you earn, but from how much you give. He said, be known for your kindness, your courage, your authenticity. Let that be your legacy. Jay closed with a heartfelt message. He said, you have the tools, the talent, and the time. But what matters most is your intention. He reminded them that life isn't about doing more, but being more. More present. More kind. More true to who you are. As the crowd rose in a standing ovation, Jay smiled and said, don't just chase success. Create a life that matters. And with that, he stepped away from the mic. But his words still echo, in hearts, in minds, and now in yours.